for their club. So also to be the best, you have to go through all this pressure.
Interesting. And Daniel, I mean, what are the key things you'll be looking out for in this game? It's the first game that Coach Carlos, we were thinking maybe he'll be there on the touchline in the game against Mexico, but you understand why he was not there, because the players were there. Another player is going to take to the World Cup. So the FAC was due to personal reasons, but we know what the personal reasons means, you know. But in terms of the key things you'll be looking out for in this game, what will they be?
For me, it's clarity of instruction. We saw a lot of confused players under the previous head coach. When I say confused, there was no proper pattern to what they were doing. So you could tell players were doing things because it felt right. The shape most of the time just felt distorted. Yes, we park bodies behind the ball, like the Germany game, we had parked bodies behind the ball, yet still they were able to pass through us. There was no coordinated press. I want to see a bit more clarity in instructions. Let's see a certain pattern that we know that, okay, fine, this is what they've been asked to do. Not necessarily whether it works or not, but this is instruction. This is what this player is supposed to do. This is what this player is supposed to do. And at the heart of that, I want to see how we defend. Because, look, if your defense is not good, you can't go far. If you are difficult to break down, that's a start of something good. And this is what the head coach stands for. He's pragmatic, but his teams have been known to be very defensively resolute. We saw a similar head coach in that philosophy in Chris Hughton take over the team. But the performances
that we're going to be seeing in here. So Kwame, the captain of the side, Jordan,
so I want to see this
so much
team
responsibility on his shoulders.
Godwin is about.
You've been
I
there
want to see Will
at this
struggle to break
stage,
down
the captain of the side, not the best
and I want
of
to see also
results
purpose
in terms of the
when we
friendlies,
get
but
the
of
ball,
course
we are going
qualified
for it. You know
for the
exactly
World
what we are doing with
And
the ball.
what can-
I'm not saying every time we go for it, we should score. But there should be a clear-cut plan, or there should be something that when we watch, we
But
can
do you
see that
think
this is
for the
exactly what-
time he's had with the team, do you think he has had enough time to get the players to appreciate that? Because
Look,
that's the difficulty.
I'll say something and I'll throw it to David. Look, if it was any other coach, I would cut in some slack. But with somebody with the experience of Carlos Queiroz, I think it's a bit easier for the experienced managers to quickly get in instructions. And they know how to pass on their message faster than some coaches who are now coming into. I don't know if you agree with me, but just from afar, it just seems like those who have been in the work longer they already know what they want. And they can easily tell you, if you do this and this and this, we'll get this result. And it's easier for them to pass on their instructions.
Yeah, I think I started with what you're saying. And on the first day when the coach comes in, as players will know his style of play. From videos they show, the way they talk, the way they move about, as players know the style of play. And from day one, the coach will be able to start instilling his style of play, his principles they want to play, and everything. So from that day he goes to the locker room, that's when everyone starts picking up. And they go on the field and they start like implementing it. It might take time, but also from the first game we have to see his style of play. We want to see what he wants his team to look like. From outside, it was like previous 2-3 years, it was difficult to see the style of play that Ghana is playing is difficult. We're all over the place. This, I hope, is different. I hope from the first game, we can see what he wants to play with Ghana.
I mean, in the game against Austria and Germany, Otto Addo gave the indication that, look, these are friendly games and the results do not necessarily matter. In terms of the result, the scoreline at the end of the day does not matter per se. So he's just looking at certain aspects of the game. Even when we lost to Germany, he made the point that, look, we've made an improvement. Don't worry about the result because we're just preparing for the World Cup. But if you look at it in context, Ghana has lost 5 of the games they've played leading up to this World Cup, all right? And this could be the only game we'll play before our first game against Panama, barring any other game they're able to bring up. How important is a good result in this game? And how do you think that will be going through the minds of the players? Because they know that, look, if you don't get a good result against Wales today before your first game against Panama, the mood in the country will be a little different.
It's a huge game for the coach, for the players, because they know, for the coach, his first game for Ghana, and he wants to impress Ghanaians.
First impression is
huge, and also for players, they know we haven't had a good result in a long time, so also, when you win, you feel good, confidence. So they want to win. They want to feel good to go into the first game.
I mean, Daniel, I don't know what Coach Carlos will be thinking. Should we go for a result? Should we just try and let Ghanaians see how we want to play? What do you think? Where do you think Coach Carlos will be? Let's get a good result, or let's play well.
The tournament we are preparing for is a results-based tournament. It's not a league where you have time to slowly build your philosophy, and by the 5th, 6th game, we start seeing results. It's results-based. If you go into your 3 group games, you don't get the results, you are coming home. And for his contract, which is a short contract, he understands that it's a results-based competition he's going into. So results are important. Look, and David is here. If you're a footballer and you go into preseason, yes, you are slowly trying to build what you do through the season. But if you go into preseason, you play 5 matches and you lose all, I don't think you go into the first game of the season confident in what you are doing. In as much as you are building something, you want to get the results for you to believe that what you are building is going to work. So 5 games in a row or 5 losses in a row is not a record that the Black Stars will want to take to the World Cup. And I think that's why a couple months ago I wasn't too worried about this because we had not yet faced Germany. I didn't think we were going to lose Germany, Japan, Korea, Germany, Austria, and then Mexico. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought maybe a couple draws in there, if we could sneak in a win, fine. But 5 L's in a row is terrible. And for the playing body to believe or have any sort of belief going into that game against Panama, they need to be able to win this game or at least get a good performance and at least a draw for them to believe that maybe we didn't get a win against Wales, we didn't lose, but if we push extra, we can beat Panama. But if you go in this game and you lose again, where's the belief? It's going to be very difficult for, even as a fan, how am I going to believe in this team that has lost the last 6? So today's game is very important. They have to get the win. For me, it's a no-brainer. I don't care if they park the bus for 90 minutes and they win 1-0. A win is a win. But let's go into that game believing that there's something we can do that will get us that win. Now, when they are putting the form guide there, it is green and it's not red.
Because at the moment, the form guide is red, 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 red. 5 reds. And I'm not sure how most people will feel about that. Just talking about our opponents, Panama in action against Brazil, that's a top-level friendly. That's how you prepare for tournament. You know, you play against Brazil and you're able to score at least 2 goals, although you concede 6. The 2 goals you scored against Brazil will give you some hope, you know. And if you look at the game they played, it was quite decent. And they also show that the goalkeeper, if you give him long-range shots, he can't, you know, long-range shots, he can be found wanting. You know, and Fatai Issahaku and Co can capitalize on that. And talking about Fatai Issahaku and Kamaldeen, because in the game against Austria and Germany, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I did not see them start. In fact, Kamaldeen, I think, did not even get up to 50 minutes in those 2 games. But in this lineup, he's starting. And Fatai Issahaku is also, I mean, alongside Kamaldeen. Kamaldeen has got pace. Sometimes the issues come with his finishing, but he's got pace. And you've got Fatai Issahaku also, except, you said it's 4-3-3. I see him somewhere in the middle. Is that where he's going to be operating?
No, I think the lineup is AI.
Okay.
But we know 4-2-3, and I think he's going to operate from the right-hand side, opportunity to cut in, Kamaldeen from the left-hand side, cutting in. But look, when I say maybe people don't, but David is here, I don't know. But if you have a player like Kamaldeen, everybody knows his strengths, everybody knows his weaknesses. But you can't deny the fact that when he picks up the ball, whoever is marking him will have something to think about. You don't know when he's going to make the right decision after he dribbles you. But you know that 9 times out of 10, he's going to get past his marker. And those players are dangerous to deal with. So for me, if I'm a coach, yes, it's frustrating, but he has that X factor that not every player has. Not every player has the ability to pick a ball up, the technical ability to go past 1-2 players. Defenders are scared. Yes, I understand the decision-making can be a problem. But let me just ask David. You're a striker. You have a winger like Kamaldeen. I know that, yes, it can be frustrating. But I would think that he's a sort of player, when he picks up the ball, you start making a good run because you know at least the ball is getting closer to go.
But bottom line is, what David will be interested in is the ball getting to him.
Getting to him, yes.
You know.
But okay.
I think I understand what you're saying. For a striker, you want to be in the box.
Yeah.
So if you have someone to make it easier for you without the ball, then you just go into the box. But also, that's why you need to trust your player that whenever he takes the player on, there will be a cross coming into the box. And it's sometimes difficult when players are not in the same line. That's when it's really good to have like a team bonding, know your players, talk to them. Like if I'm a forward and my winger, I'll ask you, do you want me to combine? But if I know Kamara, then he doesn't want that. He wants to go 1v1, it's fast. So I just leave him, go into the box and wait for him. And that's when you need to trust your player, he will deliver to you.
I mean, and beyond Kamara, a few other players that will be trusting on in the World Cup, someone like Thomas Partey, very, very exceptional player within the Black Stars setup. I mean, just help me. You didn't play with him, did you?
I did 2016, 2017 a bit.
Yeah.
He's been there for a while.
Yeah.
That's when he had just come into.
That's when you had just come into. Just give us a sense of. So that's what 10 years Thomas Partey has been with the team.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time. You've played with him. You've trained with him. I mean, just help us appreciate, from the experience of playing with him, the kind of player he is. Because sometimes the national team, people ask questions. Thomas Partey, when he comes to the Black Stars, we don't see him like we see him when he used to play for Arsenal.
Yeah, you need his type in the team. There are players that calm the team down. They know when to go forward, when to go back. Also, they control the tempo of the team. And you can't have us or a lot of Kamadi in the team because we just want to run. But you need those kind of players. And I think this is a huge tournament for Partey. He needs to. It might be his last major tournament.
Yeah.
He needs to show Ghanaians that you're a leader. We know their qualities and you have to show it. We know his qualities, but he needs to show it. We need to see it more. Like, people appreciate, some of us, we appreciate what he does for the team. He's not the flashy type, but we know how important he is for the team.
And Daniel, I mean, Thomas Partey is instrumental. And if we can get the best of him, then Ghana has a good chance of, doing very well at this tournament.
Look, when you look at a player's CV and you see Atletico Madrid, you see Arsenal in there, over the span of 10 years, that is quality. That is a player that has merited being at the very top. In fact, if you can add Villarreal to it, teams like that don't just go and buy a player because of anything. They know what they are getting and they know what they have to keep them on their books for such a long period of time. So for me, I think his quality speaks for itself. But David has said something very important. This could be his last major tournament.
Yeah.
We've seen him play, and unfortunately for him, when he's entered his prime in his career, it sort of coincided with the Black Stars' decline. So we've not seen that one tournament where Partey has completely bossed it.
Yeah.
In the other generation, you could mention, so SCN was known for 2008, Apia, the World Cup in 2006, Muntar. They all had that, at least that one tournament where they bossed it. Partey has not had that yet. And for me, this is the defining factor for him. And the last is always very significant because if you do well, most people will not remember the previous ones. They will remember the very last one that you did. And if you don't do well, that's also how people will remember you. So for me, it's very, very important that Carlos Queiroz is able to form that environment for him on the pitch with clarity, and not just him, but everybody else. Because I believe for a player like Partey, if everything is in sync, it's easier for him to do his work. And when he's having a good game, as David said, if he's controlling the tempo and he's having a good game, wherever you are on the pitch, you feel the impact of that. And it will even help the other players also get into the game and have a good game. So it's very important for him to have a good tournament in this one. And I'm glad he's playing this game because we saw in March, the Austria and Germany games, he didn't seem quite fit. He didn't seem up to the tempo of the game. And it's very important for a player like that to be up to the rigors of the game. If not, then we are going to struggle. So field him as long as possible in this game, maybe 70, 80 minutes, and then take him off. But I'm really hoping, we've heard rumors of another friendly match. I'm really hoping that can happen. So at least he gets another prolonged game time. So that going into that Panama game, because we saw them against Brazil, those guys are physical. They are physical. They are very strong.
And also with that game, they left three of their key players on the bench.
Exactly.
Godoy and the other guy. They really hold the team. So we shouldn't underestimate them. They are a good side. Physical. And they played in the Gold Cup and they were, I think they came third.
Yeah.
So it's
the semi-final.
So they are a good side. We can't underestimate them.
Yeah, well, it's still watching. Joy Prime is the build-up to Ghana's friendly game against Wales happening in some moment from now. And lineup is already out. And we've got David Akam, Studio Dan Kranti is here also. We're bringing you a live commentary right here. And we'll love to hear from you. So please do make sure you stay interactive. We are also streaming on YouTube. So if you just step into the kitchen, go to YouTube and watch us so you don't miss any moment of this discussion. Well, David, I just want to pick your thoughts on the entirety of the squad that we are going to the World Cup with. If you listen to the segment from a lot of people, they describe it as underwhelming. In fact, that's the word that Sadiq Adams used, one of our colleagues. He described, he said, on paper, it could be Ghana's weakest tournament squad in 20 years. And he said maybe they could write their own story, but it's extremely underwhelming. That appears to be the sentiment of many. They look at the players on paper, it's like, I mean, you're not comparing to the 2010 where you had the quality we had, or 2014 where you could mention, the likes of Michael Essien here and there who were going to the field. You know that these are some very strong players, individual players in that regard. I mean, do you feel the same?
I don't, because this is all we have. This is all we have. And I think with the exception of 2 or 3 players, any of the players can be dropped and it wouldn't be a big deal. We can bring another players to replace them. So this is all we have. And also with the squad we have, I think there's a lot of players with exceptional qualities. And on paper, yeah, and also on form, I don't think you have confidence, but as a player, I know the exceptional qualities most of them have, and my expectation is that they show the qualities they have.
Over
So people will
33,000
see it.
spectators.
At the moment,
And you expect
most
Ghanaians
Ghanaians don't have
everywhere
confidence
the Black
in the players,
Stars
but
play.
I know
They
the
are
qualities they
passionate about
have, so
their team. The
I
young
expect them
and
to go on the
old
field
are
and
the
show us
stadiums,
Ghanaians
these young
they have qualities. That's
supporters
why
of
they play for
Wales.
teams in Europe.
Lovely scenes.
As a Ghanaian, it's not easy to get like a contract in Europe. So if you are there, it means they saw something in you. So we Ghanaians have to see it more.
And to some extent, maybe that could help the players, because if the public appear not to be so confident in you, it will reduce their expectation and pressure they put on you. Maybe that explains why Jonah said we are going to surprise you, because he has already gotten the feedback.
Oh, yeah. Look, they know. And this is not like, 15, 20 years ago where you would have to wait and listen to radio after the game or check the newspapers. This one, full time, half time, if you pick your phone, you can see somebody dissing you for
Instant feedback.
Instant. They are giving it to you quick, and they'll tag you. They'll make sure that they tag you so you will see it.
Yeah.
So the players know. Look, if you speak to them, they understand that not many people have faith in them. But David said something at the start of his submission. It's not just about us. In fact, I think as a player, the fans are the last people you are thinking about. You are the World Cup. It's like you are here and you are hosting a World Cup show. It's a big deal for your career. So as a player, walking onto that pitch in the World Cup is a big deal. You can make or unmake your career. So I always say that no player will go on the pitch and intentionally not do well. They are playing for themselves, they are playing for their families, they are playing for their careers. And we've seen many stories like that. James Rodriguez went to the World Cup, and straight after that, he goes from Porto straight to Real Madrid, and his life changes. We've seen so many stories like that at the World Cup. So even Ghana, Adia played under 20, and from there he went to AC Milan. So anything can happen, and they are very well aware of that. When you are playing at the World Cup, no matter the country you belong to, once you are playing, the entire world is watching you.
That's how I could end up at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. It's
Leicester
possible.
City
Anything
to
can
Real
happen.
Madrid. Yeah.
So you have to go out there and
then
do
bench
it.
Adagule.
Look, simple, you bench. You have to go out there and do your best and make sure that you leave an impression on the pitch. So for me, I like the fact that the players themselves are already motivated because it's the World Cup. So if you're a coach or you're a fan, I don't think so when people talk about, oh, they are not showing passion, bro, it's the World Cup. The person has more to lose than you. Whatever betting you're going to bet on the game, that's the guy's life. If he messes up, if he goes to the World Cup and he flops, probably the deal they were working on before the World Cup, it collapses.
Yeah.
So some of these things are very important, even from the player's point of view. That's where you have to look at it first. And I don't think any professional will go onto the biggest stage that will probably, the biggest light on his career and go there and intentionally mess up. No. So for me, it's a big thing. They are well aware of that.
Yeah, and David, we were just talking about Thomas Partey earlier, the fact that this could actually be his last tournament for the Black Stars. Another person who has, is probably at the moment the longest serving player in the Black Stars at the moment. It was 16 years since he made his debut in 2010. I'm talking about Jordan Ayew. Yeah. It's incredible. 18 years of age, and now he's what? What do you think?
33.
33. Yeah, he's got his birth certificate. So. And then he sent him PDF on WhatsApp, so he has it. He has spent such a long time in the Black Stars setup. He was there in 2014, he was there in 2022, he's going to be there in 2026. That's about 3 tournaments that he's going to be at. I'm not sure the player who's done that. 3 tournaments.
3 World Cups.
Andrew was not there in 2006. He was there in 2010 and 2022.
2014, 2022.
Okay, great. So
he's equaling
in 2014. Yeah. So there was 2014.
So he's equaling Andre's World Cup record.
Yeah, so he's equal Andre. Yeah. And Suleiman Muntari?
Andre, Baby Jet, he's equal.
Yeah, Baby Jet. So that's a very special group of players. But what I wanted to touch on is the fact that he'll be leading this team to the World Cup as captain. And that's a big deal for him, not just because of how long he's been in the World Cup, because of the experience he's got at the World Cup, but he's leading this team looking to meet the benchmark that was set at least in 2010, because post that, we've never made it beyond the group stage. And a lot of people will be looking at him. And he's demonstrated that he's capable of leading this team. In the qualifiers, we saw that 7 goals, 7 assists, best player in the World Cup qualifier for us. As captain of the side, just help us appreciate the kind of responsibility that's on him. Because you've been at the tournament and you see how the captains have had to, handle teams.
Yeah, and with Jordan it's different because not every leader is loud and everywhere in the public. Jordan is those silent leaders. They use their behavior, attitude, and performance to show the leadership you have. When you go on the field, Jordan will outwork anyone. And that's a leadership skills. They don't need to tell you. If you see Jordan working, then you too, you have to work.
Yeah.
So, and people trying to compare his leadership to other players, it doesn't work because we are all different. And also, I think this is a huge stage for Jordan. He's out of club, right? Leicester relegation. So also he wants to get the next contract. So he's even motivated. He doesn't need like outside motivation. He is motivated. He wants to play well and get a good contract. So, and for him leading the team, I think he's doing well at the moment. A lot of young players, new players coming to the team, and we haven't really heard about any major issues yet. So I think he's doing a good job, and this is like another level for him to take this team to the next stage.
And then just briefly, which other players will you be expecting to complement him in his leadership team? Because one of the things that sometimes I've been found wanting in the Black Stars is leadership, that sometimes there's just too much chaos in the team.
Look, with the absence of Jiku and even Kudus, who is part of the leadership structure in the Black Stars.
Thomas Partey needs to step up.
Partey will need to step up. Even I'm even looking at somebody like Atizigi. This is his second World Cup. Semenyo himself, with the form he's come in, the experience, the heights he's reached in football just this season, and the eyeballs that will be on him, he also needs to step up. Iñaki might be pretty new, but you don't go through what you've gone through in your career. Consecutive appearances in the La Liga, one of the biggest names in the La Liga. If you are in that Black Star setup, you need to step up and show your leadership. And all these players need to rally around Jordan and form a strong leadership unit, because it's a very difficult period. It's a very difficult period. And as captain, it can be difficult if you are the only one trying to steer everybody. But I don't think that's the issue in the Black Stars, because we mentioned this could be Partey's last tournament, this could be Jordan's, or this, I'm sure this will be Jordan's last World Cup. These guys will understand. Even Iñaki is over 30, so this could also be his last World Cup. These guys will understand that, look, it's now or never. If it doesn't happen in North America, then that's it. Your career ends with the World Cup looking some way. Remember that Jordan has never scored a World Cup goal.
Yeah, he has.
So for him, that's even motivation enough for him to go into this World Cup and steer things right. But I think when under a right leader, and I'm talking about the head coach, when you are in adversity, it can bring you even closer together. And I think we've seen from the team bonding exercises, some of the interviews, the way the players speak, I think they understand that they are in a difficult period, but I would need you and I would need you if we are going to get to the end, or the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm not too worried about leadership in the group. I'm not too worried about unity in purpose. It's just about, if we can get the coaching right, I think that's it. We are good to go.
And I come just for a player like Inaki Williams, he's also got a lot to prove in the national team, doesn't he? And we just kick off. It's almost upon us. Just a few minutes, and we'll bring you the game live here. And in fact, we understand the players are already on the field. I come just briefly on Inaki Williams.
Yeah, this is a huge tournament for him, because Ghanaians, we expect more from him. When he came to the team, I think his performance is a little bit underwhelming, and for Ghanaians, they will let you know. And I think he knows it, and we have seen his videos he's posting, his comments he's making. He shows like he really wants to prove to Ghanaians that he's the Nike we know from Atletico Bilbao. So we expect more from him, and he knows it. And we hope he delivers in this tournament.
Well, first half is upon us now is Wales versus Ghana. And for Wales, it's a very special moment for them, because their country is celebrating 150 years of the Football Federation's anniversary. So it's a very important one for them. They were looking to be at the World Cup, and this would have been a sending off for them, but unfortunately they couldn't. It's first half, Wales versus Ghana, and we'll be back after that for more. The stadium is already filled, a number of Ghanaians in the stands, and national anthems for the respective teams is now.
one thing on their mind: catch the eye of the manager. Make sure you're part of that team that steps out on match day 1 at the World Cup. For Ethan Ampadu and his men, the disappointment and the ghost of not qualifying to the USA Canada Mexico for the World Cup is behind them. Now the agenda for them is different. Ghana coming into this game with not the best of records in friendly games. Lost in very high profile friendly games by some, for some, in many respects, humiliating results. 5 defeat to Austria. 5-0 defeat to Austria in that game, and 2-1 to Germany. Many say that led to the sacking of Otto Addo and paved the way for the Portuguese tactician Carlos Queiroz. Now and then, Craig Bellamy, highly vastly popular footballer in his days in the Premier League. Newcastle United for Manchester City for Liverpool. Now a manager for his country. What a proud moment for him. Kwame, what do you expect coming into this game for these two sides?
Well, I'm sure both teams have their KPIs are for this one. I mean, for Wales, it's pretty much about team building at this point, having Wales qualify for the World Cup. For Team Ghana, it's an opportunity for these guys to impress, especially for those who would want to get an opportunity in the starting 11. If you do very well today and you play your way to the heart and mind of the technical team, you probably get to start our first game against Panama.
Oscar Johnson gives the command for the game to commence. It's Wales, it's Ghana, it's at the Cardiff City Stadium. And there's plenty hanging on this one for a lot of the boys in yellow. Straight away is the home side that is hoping to attack. And it's Thompson. Thompson have got skill about him. Swings one into the box, but now well watched and cleared by the defense of the Black Stars. Dalo has been called into action. Almost a loose touch from Dalen Lolo. Head coach Craig Bellamy, they say he was disappointed his team didn't make it to the World Cup, but was very proud of the way the team played their game against Bosnia, and for him the future was all that mattered to him. All he's trying to do now is to build a team for the future. They've got the Nations League to come, and they've got the Euros to qualify for as well. Ampadu. All the way to Dalo. Denen Lolo. Thompson. Spread the play to the far side, but well watched there by Ghana's Gideon Mensah. I mean, have you spotted any change in the shape of the team that Carlos Queiroz has lined up, considering what we saw? We'll come back to that as Wolves try to attack. But Thompson has been busy very early on in this game. There is again Thompson. JT with the block.
And that's a strange part for me. I mean, on the screen, we saw Jordan appearing to be leading the line. That's exactly what I'm seeing on the pitch at the moment. He's pretty much leading the line for the team with Edu Kabna and Sulemana pretty much on the flanks at this point. But let's see.
Down Da Silva. Da Silva had a very successful season playing for Coventry City. His teammates on the other side, his teammates plays for the Black Stars. Maybe you have an opportunity to come on into this game. He's Thomas Brennan Asante. Foul for Wales. Gideon Mensah, who made that late contact on the Leeds United forward.
And we know Danny James can cause a fair bit of problems.
Rondon. Now Dan James. He's got pace about him. Gets a pass as man. Clips one into the box. Well watched by Thomas Partey. Kamaldeen Sulemana. Just look at the way the Wales team was just applying the pressure high up the pitch to win the ball from Sulemana. Sulemana stays down and the referee calls that for a foul. Perhaps an attention to be given to the Ghanaian.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't much in it. It didn't look deliberate for me. So maybe the refs are looking at taking things a bit easy there.
Kamaldeen Sulemana came off worse from that challenge. Ghana's Michael Essien and Stephen Appiah, the very two players were instrumental in Ghana's first ever qualification to the FIFA World Cup at the world stage in 2006. Stephen Appiah was captain then. Michael Essien was in his pump playing for Chelsea, and he was an amazing player in the Premier League. I'm sure a lot of the Wales fans would have remembered him from there.
Pretty much Ghanaian football royalty.
Lovely ball. Dan James has got the pace. Can he pick his man out? But it's well cleared by Jordan Adete. The space are beginning to emerge for Wales there. And that was for one moment you thought they were in behind the Black Stars. They could find Kiefer Moore, but it wasn't to be. And James, whenever he's on his bike, it's difficult to catch. He's got real pace about him.
If we had any doubts as to whether the Welsh were going to be taking this seriously, the first 5 minutes have answered that.
And the Welsh FA are celebrating the 150th anniversary, so that also gives you an indication of why they are wearing that retro jersey. Old-fashioned jersey, but still very much representing the pride of the Dragons. Long ball looking for Jordan Ayew. Flag is up on the near side. Yeah, good idea. Just strayed a little bit offside there, Jordan. Kiefer Moore looking for Dan James. Lolo with a big header. Senaya does well to skip past this man. Can he find his teammates? He finds Thomas Partey. Again, finds Elijah Owusu. Yeah, so it looks very much like back four of Adete and Jerome Opoku in centre half. Gideon Mensah, who is on the ball, left back, and Senaya, who we saw earlier at right back. Ghana loses the ball in their own half. Brooks now finds Shihan Da Silva. Thomas. Free kick taken quickly, and Ghana wins the ball off Wales. Now Ghana, as soon as Ghana gets the ball, they are not necessarily trying to pass the ball from the own half. They are going long to Jordan. We've seen that 3 times already in this game. Carlos Queiroz spoke really well in his introduction to the Ghanaian media in Accra. But now the talk is down. The action now has to be seen on the pitch. Ajete goes all the way back to Lawrence Atizigi. Looking for Jordan. Lovely ball from Atizigi to find Jordan. Lovely control as well from the skipper. Finds Fatah Isaaku. Fatah Isaaku on his left foot. Isaaku tries one, but blocked by Lolo. Ghana still keep possession high up the pitch, this time with Edu. Gideon Mensah. Kamaldeen Sulemana. Partey. Now have been forced all the way back to their own half with Jerome Opoku. Elijah Owusu. Edu. Trying to look for one of the attacking players there, but it's a wasted opportunity from the Black Stars of Ghana. It's the first real opportunity we've seen them try to create anything in the final third, Kwame.
I mean, we've been sucked in a half for the first 5 minutes, but clearly, a statement of intent there from the last 1 or 2 opportunities, and we know we have the players who can step up and pretty much taking that opportunity to step up after being, under the couch the last few minutes.
Brooks to Nico Williams. for the Black Stars of Ghana. Ghana will be at the World Cup, which starts in 9 days. Going to be the biggest World Cup in the history of the competition. Teams have been increased. There are many more venues played across 3 different countries: USA, Canada, and Mexico. Ghana will start their campaign in Toronto against Canada, in Canada against Panama, I should say. Then that one that many have been talking about, all the global portals are writing about, against the 3 Lions of England, who themselves have got massive pressure on them after Thomas Tuchel took over the job. Gary Southgate took England all the way to the semis and the quarters of the World Cup, and also 2 finals of the Euros. Can Tuchel better that? In his way, it will be the Black Stars, of course. Then wrap up that group stage campaign with Croatia. Now Wales come forward again, and it's a foul on Nico Williams. Abnedu that time was tracking back to help in defense, but claimed this man.
And this is a player we saw him lead the line against Austria, and then all of a sudden he's down, far behind, supporting the team, in defense. Amazes me how he's been seen on the pitch in the last 10 minutes. Because you'd be thinking that he'll be leading the line for us, but covering up in defense as well. Maybe adding something to his game.
Yeah, looking at how the team has shaped, it probably looks like he's the one playing on the left-hand side of the wing, with Kamaldeen Sulemana playing behind Jordan Ayew. So he's maybe required to track back and help Gideon Mensah. But for now, the Black Stars must focus on defending this set piece. And Wolves have got some very big frames in there. 10 minutes on the clock. Shehan, Rondon, Kefe Moore, all joining in attack for this set piece. The in-swinger that is coming in, the dangerous ball, but it's headed away for a corner kick. Atizigi was off his line. He didn't get a touch on that. It was cleared away by the defenders. Have a better look at that from that. It's a lovely whip on the ball. Ajete was the one who got the head on the ball. Now Ghana have the corner to defend. Ajete has been in the right place at the right time for the first 10 minutes or so. Wolves will go short this time. An opportunity from Shehan. Ball clipping to the ball. Lovely work there. It's a lovely header. Brilliant save by Atazigi onto the woodwork. Dan James thought for a moment he had scored. Atazigi denied him with that acrobatic save. Fantastic.
That was world class. Fair to say.
That was a lovely way to work around the set piece from Wales. That was straight from the training ground. Atizigi just stopped it. And maybe that is why he's been called to be in the post for this game. Increasingly looking likely he's going to be perhaps the number 1 for the Black Stars at the World Cup. But Wales will come again with Lolo. Jay Da Silva, all the way back to Carvalho. Joe Rondon. He had a very, very successful season with Leeds United, who got promotion only 2 seasons ago, retained their Premier League status. He did that with Dan James and, of course, a skipper at the club side and the national side, Ethan Ampadu. Da Silva. Thomas. Ghana setting up in the mid-block, trying to block all the passing lanes for Wales, but no pressure on the ball from Ghana as Da Silva tries to find space for Thomas. Back to Da Silva. Lolo. Ethan Ampadu. Ball back to Rondon. Nico Williams. Dan James. Nico Williams again. Shehan makes a lovely darting pass, but Williams ignores him. Ball back to Williams. Lovely feet. Brooks looking for Kefe Moore. Kefe Moore on the turn. Finds Dan James on the edge of the box. Dan James, 1-2, lovely strike, but Dan James again, tipped onto the woodwork again by Atizigi. Thomas, Da Silva, skipping through, whistling his way through, couldn't keep his feet, and now Ghana cleared their lines. Wales applying all the pressure now. Ghana have got no response whatsoever so far. Ampedu was looking for Nico Williams, but the two players are not on the same page. That was Dan James, again denied, was through. Ball was blocked by Partey, but on the second attempt, Atizigi might have just got fingertips on that one onto the woodwork. And that was the initial save from Dan James. Ah, what a header. But even a better save to deny him, Kwame.
A better save to deny him. And it's been 14 minutes of a lot of pressure on our team. I mean, I'm not too sure what the game plan is, but every time the Welsh have possession of the ball, they seem to be very sure what they want to do. And it looks like we're pretty much on the couch at the moment. We've got to find a way around this, or else we might possibly be conceding any moment from now.
Lolo, Da Silva. Soba Thompson again, looking for the run of his man. Around the ball. For 1 second, they thought it was out for a goal kick, but ball was kept in play. Ghana can try and now come forward with a Partey. Lays it off to Kamaldeen Sulemana. Space for Fatai Sahaku to attack. Senaya on the outside on the overlap if he wants to use him. Fatai Sahaku goes on the outside, trying to clip one into the ball, but overrun the ball. Fatai Sahaku had a very good start to the season, but it was tailed off a little bit. And Leicester City got themselves into trouble with the PSR rule. They were deducted points, and now they find themselves in League One. So one of the players who will be playing for the attention of other teams if he wants to leave Leicester.
He wouldn't want to be playing in the 30 of English football. Not after playing in the World Cup.
Now Jordan Ayew, Thomas Partey. Jordan Ayew, Fatai Sahaku. Finds Thomas Partey, back to Sahaku. Marvin Senaya. Jerome Opoku. Gideon Mensah finds the ball down the channel. Kamaldeen Sulemana. Elijah Wusu trying to ping one to the near side, but couldn't find Fatai Sahaku. Yeah, for the Ghanaian players, they're playing under a new manager, and many of them there are still many positions in the team for grabs. Many of them will be hoping to try and catch the eye of the manager and perhaps cement it. And it must be said in the opening 16 minutes, it hasn't looked like anybody really has made the early impressions yet, at least not to the fans watching. Oh, lovely 1-2. Dan James on his bike now. Dan James has got option on the edge of the box. He finds it. But lovely tracking back there by Thomas Partey to deny what was almost a certain tap in or effort on goal by Josh Sheehan. And the Wales team is beginning to easily carve through the Black Stars defense.
Especially at the left-hand side of defense. It's very clear Gideon Mensah is really struggling against Danny James.
Nico Williams. And James trying to find the run of Brooks. Another long ball looking for Jordan now. Jordan brings the ball down under his control beautifully. Jordan Ayew still keeps possession. Waiting for options. He has an option on his left and finds it. Obenedu as well, trying to squeeze one through to his captain, but there was no space there. Ajeti. This World Cup will be without some very key players who would have been very important to their chances. There's no Mohamed Kudus, who for the most part of this season was out injured for Spurs. Mohamed Salisu suffered an ACL injury, so he was ruled out. More recently, Jiku as well. Now, Fatah Sahaku finds Jordan Ayew with a lovely ball. Jordan Ayew take the strike, but it was always rising. But that was promising.
Very promising. And I mean, he was just at the right place at the right time. And great pass here from Fatah Ayew. And I loved the first touch, taking him away from the defender, but well, maybe he would have done better with the strike.
Jordan Ayew leading the lines quite well for the Black Stars, and again, that was one moment where Wales team carved open. Dan James had option on the edge of the box from Sheehan, almost picked him out by Thomas Partey, arriving timely to intercept. Caudalo almost playing as a third centre back here, way off his line. Dan James again, he's been busy. Skips pass, Gideon Mensah gets more into the box, but Jerome Opoku clears it. Kwame Wright on that left-hand side for the Black Stars that seem to be opening up for Wales.
Probably reason why we get to see a lot more of Edu supporting Gideon Mensah, because he should not be there. You would expect him to be doing a lot more upgrades, but he seems to be, quite a number of times back in there to support Gideon Mensah.
Now James header again. Atizigi was really on his toes and anticipating it. That was the second effort that hit the crossbar. I wonder if Atizigi just might have got something on it, or maybe not. Those were the two big chances on goal. Now that's over. Nico Williams. Nico Williams had a very tough season with Forest, Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. Had a difficult start to the season, but they were going strong in Europe. Eventually were knocked out by Premier League opponents Aston Villa. In the Europa League, Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore is trying to look for somebody in the box. You'd have thought somebody would be looking for Kiefer Moore in the box. Dylan Lolo. This is very much his home stadium. He plays for Cardiff City. Used to the terrain and the space where the game is being honored. Elijah Owusu does well to win that battle in the middle of the park. Now Ghana with Kobenedu. Elijah Owusu. Jerome Opoku. It goes back to his centre-back partner. Jerome Opoku is looking for the run of Marvin Senaya. That was almost a really good ball, but just couldn't find the right execution. The run was on, the space was there, but couldn't pick out his man. The look on the face of those Ghanaian fans says it's all coming.
I mean, we've been under the couch for a greater part of the 2 minutes. But as long as we've not conceded, we are still very much in the game, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and for many Ghanaians watching, they really want to see what the team would look like under Carlos Queiroz. The first 20 minutes hasn't necessarily given an indication of a different hand on the team yet. Such were the concerns that even if there was a managerial change, would he have enough time to drum home his thoughts and his tactics and his system and the way he wants his team to behave? Thomas. And Pedro back to Thomas. Lolo. That's over. Sheehan. Thomas. Looking to the far side for Dan James, finds him with a lovely ball. Who finds Brooks trying to curl one into the far post, but was always curling towards the goalkeeper, Atizigi. just couldn't curl it into the far post enough. Always bending towards the goalkeeper with no real power behind it. Ghana still yet to test Caldalo. Got 23 minutes on the clock. Tsitsigi has had to pull off a magnificent save to keep the scoreline at goalless. Dan James has also hit the crossbar. Da Silva steps infield to find Nico Williams. Nico Williams still in the centre circle for the Wales side. Thomas having a very, very good battle with Marvin Senaya. I mean, what really has to change for Ghana to get a foothold on the game and maybe begin to have a bit more possession and dictate the action?
You know, be a bit courageous, be a bit confident going forward. At this point, it looks like they're very happy to string passes in the box and look out to play either through the wings or every now and then play through the channels. We've got to find a way of believing that when we step forward, we can make things happen. At this point, most often we have virtually all our players in our own half of the pitch, and that doesn't look good for me.
Ghana need to be a bit more brave when they have the ball. They need to play a bit closer to each other so they can always have the options to pass out. But going long hasn't served the team well so far. Foul one there. Eduko Abena from Joe Rodon. Jerome Opoku. Who could have a very big responsibility on his shoulder, Jerome Opoku. He now becomes, if you like, the most experienced centre-back in the Black Stars with the absence of Salisu and Jiku.
Those two could potentially be starting out in our first game against Panama.
Yeah. Considering that Mumin is only returning from injury now, but lovely play from Wales, almost too easily down the middle. It's a foul from Gideon Mensah. This time the foul was called on Nico Williams. Might just have missed the ball and clipped the man's legs. Laurent Tsitsigi was in post for the Black Stars in Qatar. Had some incredible saves in that competition, in the game against Korea and the game against Portugal as well.
Absolutely. As soon as we get to opportunity and he's been number one since.
Now Thomas swings one in, looking for Kifemo on the fast stick. Kifemo got his head on the ball but couldn't keep his header down. It's always going to be a target, Kifemo. Such a big frame. These days plays for Wrexham in the Championship. So this game serves as a preparatory game for, more importantly, the Black Stars of Ghana. Again, we're not too sure if this is the only game they've got ahead of the World Cup, or the Federation would have another game arranged for the team to warm themselves up to the competition. But officially, this is the only game scheduled to be played. And that was a loose pass from Dallo. It's Jordan Ayew's opportunity. The angle was almost against him, and Dallo makes the save. First real opportunity for the Black Stars, and it's Carl Dallo who his pass was shot to his man. Jordan reacts well to get to the ball, but just couldn't get his efforts away quickly enough. And Dallo was on hand to apply the save.
You've got to give the goalkeeper a lot of credit as well. He did well to narrow the angle, making it very difficult for Jordan to find a way past him there.
First real opportunity for the Black Stars coming to the man who has been in the last year very reliable in front of goal for them, Jordan Ayew, the captain. His goals and his assists very much played a key role in qualifying the team to the World Cup. That moment there, Kardalo, just one moment of lapse of concentration, and I've just put Ghana through on goal. He made amends.
Pretty much.
Jordan Ayew is leading the line really well. Now Kamaldeen Sulemana, he's got trick, he's got pace. Which one would he use? He used both. Kamaldeen Sulemana looking to find Fatai Issahaku with the ball is too long and disappointingly. So he got a lot of bodies in the box. Should have been aiming for one rather than trying to spread the play to Issahaku.
Exactly what I was thinking. There were numbers in the box.
Is that part of his game that has been lacking, really?
Decision making. And it's been a big conversation ever since he got an opportunity to play for the Black Stars. Pretty inconsistent.
Rondon. Dan James. Dan James kick past this man has been brought down by Thomas Partey. Partey goes into the book of the referee for a yellow card.
First yellow card of the game. And every time he's had a touch, he's been booed. I'm not too sure if this has anything to do with the conversation we're having before the start of the game.
Yeah, perhaps. But he's been an experienced head. He knows how to deal with these things, Thomas Partey. Those were some of the concerns for the Black Stars, that in the middle of the park where they don't really have the legs, especially if Caleb Iheanacho's not playing there. They've got players who have got pace skipping around them. They could be left wanting, and that was a clear example. The pace of Dan James always devastating. Now opportunity for Wales to swing one into the box to test Ghana once more. 30 minutes on the clock. Brooks. Thomas has left it for Brooks and Nico Williams. Will it be the left boot of Brooks or the right boot of Nico Williams? We'll find out. It's a combination of both, but it's been blocked. Dalen Lolo. Da Silva. Back to Kardalo. Lolo again. Looking for the run of his man and finds him brilliantly. Brooks was almost down the middle of Gideon Mensah and Jerome Opoku. A well watched by Jerome Opoku, and Brooks is showing his appreciation for the spotting of that ball from Lolo. You still see the applause, the effort, and the vision of that run that he made. It was a dancing one. Ampedu. Brooks. David Brooks drops all the way back into his own half, trying to get more effective on the game. Thomas. Ghana with an opportunity to attack now. Marvin Senaya. So on the right-hand side of Jordan Ayew, but goes infield. Ghana always now have to come all the way back to their goalkeeper. I wonder if Jordan could have used the run of Senaya because he had space.
And he had already started making a move. I'm not too sure why. You know, when we have such opportunities, we don't want to take them.
Ajete. Jerome Opoku looking for Prince Edu Kwabena. Prince Edu Kwabena and Kamaldeen Sulemana have swapped positions. Sulemana now playing on the left-hand side of the attack. That was really close, but I thought it was a stray offside there. Edu Kwabena, who has now come to play alongside the captain, Jordan Ayew. Da Silva. Joe Rodon. Brooks. Ampedu. Sheehan. Ampedu again. Thomas. Well watched, well defended by Marvin Senaya. First rule always is stop the cross, and they did just that. But they will come again, Wales. This time with Da Silva, who finds Lolo. All 20 outfield players in the half of the Black Stars. Ampedu, Da Silva. Sheehan does well to keep Wales in possession. Nico Williams, Sheehan. Lolo. Sheehan. Trying to squeeze one through for Nico Williams. But it was well watched by Elisha Owusu. Ghana's first opponent at the World Cup, which will be Panama, played Brazil at the Maracana. He ended by 6-2, but the performance that first half was really, really eye-catching. Panama. And they would be watching this game as well to learn more about their opponents. Panama will play against the Dominican Republic and then also test themselves against Bosnia and Herzegovina before they fly out to Toronto to play against the Black Stars of Ghana. Prince Edu keeps the ball in field, but there's so much pressure from the Wales side anytime they are off the ball. But the ball breaks kindly for the Black Stars with it. Elijah Owusu finds Kamaldeen Sulemana. Kamaldeen Sulemana chops in and strikes the ball, takes a deflection, but straight into the arms of Kardalo.
Yeah, that's what we're expecting him to do pretty much from that side of the pitch. Cutting in brilliantly there. And, that ball going off the defender. Maybe had it not gone off the defender, maybe a bit more power, and then who knows. But, of course, some problems for the Welsh goalkeeper.
It's Ghana's second effort on goal. First was from Jordan Ayew. And now Kamaldeen Sulemana tested the goalkeeper there without a deflection. And James Lerkin on the shoulder of Gideon Mensah as well to keep an eye on the ball and keep an eye on his man as well. Ghana's opponents at the World Cup in England will also test themselves against New Zealand and later Costa Rica before they fly out to play against Croatia. And while at it, Croatia will play against Slovenia, and they will then head out to play against England. It's a really tricky group, that one. Oh, lovely 1-2 by Jordan Ayew and Kamaldeen Sulemana, who has an opportunity to break, looking for a cross into the box, but wins the team in the corner.
Good to see the Black Stars setting, stepping up a bit. We haven't seen this in 35, 36, 37 minutes. All of a sudden, we've been playing one or two penetrative passes. Would love to see a lot more of this in the final 8 minutes.
For Ghana and the fans behind the poster. Go, Ghana. It's a real first opportunity for Ghana to throw a lot of bodies into the box of Wales. Jerome Opoku is there with Ajete Elijah. He will take. The ball is good, but well defended by Rodon. And Jordan Ayew whipping the ball into the near posts. Actually, Rodon there. That's a big frame as well in defending. I think it's Kife Moore actually who had come all the way back to help in defending with his big frame. Prince Edu. Wins another corner for the Black Stars. Another opportunity for Ghana to test Wales.
all of a sudden Ghana is on the attack.
Much to the delight of these fans. Ghana scored a lot of goals from set pieces during the World Cup qualifiers. You wonder if that is a weapon they've got in their locker going into the World Cup. Can they make the most of this one? Jordan Ayew to take. Jordan takes. Ball breaks into the box for Fatai Sayaku. Fatau getting around his man. I didn't leave much room for him to do the collecting of the ball. Marvin Senaya is trying to strike the ball from there in his weaker side.
I honestly thought he was going to keep possession and look out for some options because we had numbers in there.
Yeah, wonderful recovery run there by Nico Williams, and that's the effort from Marvin Senaya, who Ghanaians would not be counting on for goals for sure.
Not at all.
Gideon Mensah. Thomas Partey. We've done 40 minutes in the first half of this game. It's still goalless between Wales and the Black Stars of Ghana. Wales have come close twice in this game with Atisigi pulling off a magnificent save. Jordan Ayew had a slight opening, but the scoreline still remains goalless with 5 minutes more and additional time to go in this half. Soba Thomas. Soba Thomas, one of those important players for the Stoke City side. So a key figure in this Wales team. Lolo. Sheehan. Lolo. Thomas. Jordan Ayew intercepts the pass, but only as far back as the Wales side with Da Silva now to Lolo. Nico Williams. Ghana doing so well to try and block those passing lanes, but it's been exposed this time. Lovely touch by Ethan Ampedu. Squeezes one down the middle. Soba Thomas. Looking for Brooks, who's been brought down, and it's Thomas Partey, who is already on a yellow card. Referee having strong words with the Ghanaian midfielder. Partey protesting that he got something on the ball. The referee disagrees with him. I think the cards will stay in the pocket for now. Referee's having a talking to the two captains, Kwame.
Oh, that was close. And I'm thinking, I mean, if he wasn't already on a booking, chances were that he was going to be getting a lookout for this one. But maybe, just maybe, because he's already on the booking, the referee just keeping his cards. That's a booking. I mean,
yeah, Thomas Partey just seemed to connect with the ball at all of his man. Brooks. So that was the earlier foul that got him into the book of the referee on Dan James, when Dan just got away from him. And the second time, Partey didn't get the ball. He's protesting his innocence still. But maybe when he sees what we saw,
of course.
you understand why the referee has even been lenient to him. But now Atisigi is busy. He has to focus on this free kick now. Nico Williams can strike a ball from here. David Brooks as well has got a technical quality to do so. Who is it going to be? A few minutes to the end of the half will be the worst possible time in the contest of Ghana to concede, but for Wales it will be a dream time to take the lead. Is it going to be David Brooks or Nico Williams? It's Brooks. And the ball bounces back into the path of Dan James, by the wall blocked there by Marvin Senaya, who's had a really strong first half defensively. Partey can bring the ball under his spell. Seems to be a bit off the pace, Thomas Partey. Wonder if the lack of rhythm and maybe game time in his club side is a fact, because we saw him in the game against Austria, we saw him in the game against Germany, so he didn't look at his best, and must be said in the first 45 minutes he hasn't looked the Partey we've been accustomed to.
And beyond those games, he was barely getting a look in at Villarreal as well.
Now Ghana can search forward. Fatai Sahaku checks the ball onto his left foot, trying to cut in now onto the edge of the box. Can he find his man? Elijah Owusu sends the ball to Gideon Mensah, looking for one body in the box. Well defended. Senaya. Oh, tipped over the ball. Bye by Kardalo.
What a goal that would have been.
Senaya's effort for one moment looked like it was going nowhere. Took a deflection, and all of a sudden, Dalo had to readjust to tip it over the bar. That could have ended up anywhere. Goalkeeper was alert on that time.
A very strong way of finishing the first 45 minutes.
Jordan Ayew with a corner kick into the box. Referee spots something in there. It's a foul against Ghana. We'll do 1 minute of additional time. You know, they quite clearly handling Shehan there. It's a mismatch between those two. I mean, between the two teams, Ghana would be very happy with the scoreline as it stands going into the break, considering the dominance and the clear opportunities that the Wales team has had. Ghana would also maybe be encouraged by some of the openings they've carved in the latter stages of this half. Rodon back to Kardalo. Rodon. The referee calls time, and it's the end of the first 45 minutes of this international friendly between Wales and Ghana. The opening 45 minutes gave us chances from Dan James. His magnificent effort was denied by Ghana's goalkeeper Atizigi. Dan James again hit the woodwork that could have given his team the lead. Jordan Ayew got a Ghana's first shot on target. It was denied by Kardalo. At the end of the first half, it is Wales 0, Ghana 0.
Gift would you give to that special person?
Gift today and no any phone. Get him that phone with a camera that can erase all the wrinkles, even in Tobro.
Hey! Forget phone and give the gift that really moves people. With Star Oil voucher, you can buy
The reason for choosing this particular Printex fabric, it reminded me back then when I was in JHS, a nostalgic feeling I had. I could take you to church, to a party, to a naming ceremony, even to a birthday.
Maso Printex.
Morning time, the pot is ready. Mama cooking nice and steady. Call your people, call your crew. Oba spaghetti made for you. Come chop, come chop. Everybody chop. Oba on my table, we no go stop. Come chop, come chop. Everybody chop. Oba on my table, we no go stop. Everybody chop. Oba.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, what's up?
Life.
It's moving so fast. Yesterday I was in class 4. Today I'm almost in JHS. My shoes don't fit me anymore. My voice is deeper. I was watching cartoons, but now they say I'm too old for that.
The more things change, the more they'll stay the same. I still love you the same.
Come and sit, Dad.
In a world that keeps changing, Calipo still keeps making sweet memories.
I still love it.
Dad, I told you to have a sip, not to finish it.
Calipo food juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
BO16.
Every woman deserves hair that looks and feels amazing. It starts with the right product. BO16. After relaxing, your hair needs serious care. BO16 Neutralizing Shampoo removes all those relaxer residues and restores your hair's natural balance. Itchy scalp, dandruff wahala, BO16 Treatment Shampoo will rescue you. Leaves your hair absolutely divine. BO16 Detangling Conditioner. No more painful tagging and breakage. See how smoothly the comb runs through. Now you know my secret.
BO16, express yourself.
This advert is FDA approved. The GC brand. It's all about you.
Did you know that Ghana currently spends more than 8 billion Ghana cedis annually importing food that can be produced locally? That is why this June, Joy Business and the Super Morning Show, in partnership with the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, FAGE, bring you the Joy Agribusiness Month 2026 under the theme From Soil to Sovereignty, Building Ghana's Agricultural Self-Reliance Through Innovation. Join us on the Joy Super Morning Show, Joy News, and across Joy Business platforms for a month-long national conversation on Ghana's food security and agribusiness future. Week 1 focuses on government policy, trade and financing for food sovereignty. Week 2 explores research, innovation, mechanization and live coverage of the Ghana Horticulture Expo 2026 from the 11th to the 13th of June at the State House forecourt. Week 3 examines infrastructure, value addition, youth participation and agricultural financing, while Week 4 highlights opportunities across key horticulture value chains. The final week looks at consumer power and Ghana's roadmap to food sovereignty by 2030. Stay tuned to Joy FM and Joy News.
Miss VIP Magnetic Perfumes.
Don't let hunger slow your vim.
Take choke your hunger, then go get some toe chop.
Chock it with the great tasting Royal King Cracker, made with butter and fortified wheat flour to keep you going with your burger level intact.
Hey,
Royal King Cracker. Take chock your hunger. This advert is FDA approved.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
This house.
The best thing is we kept a clean sheet so far, and looking at they had about 8 touches in our box, and we had about 2. And defensively, we've been compact. That's what we want, but also they are finding some spaces in between us. Also, Dan James, this is what we want Kamadi and Solomana and Fatal to be doing to their fullbacks. But it's rather than James who is doing that to our fullback, and it's okay. I won't say it's bad, but it's okay. It's not good enough, but it's okay so far.
Based on how the team has played in the first half, what sense did you get that Carlos Queiroz is trying to get the team to play? Like, how is he trying to get the team to play? Did you pick anything from that first half?
I think it's difficult because we're not even getting on the ball much. So it looks like they want to be compact and hit them on the counter, but it's not working because you need the personalities on the field to play that type of game. And at the moment, I don't think they have it because Jordan holds onto the ball a little bit too much. And if that's what he wants to play, then I don't think he's putting the right personalities on the field. But I might be wrong. Maybe he's trying to do other things and it's not working. So I think we have another 45 minutes to actually get a sense of what he's trying to put across on the field.
Danny?
I think how deep we've sat back is because of how good Wales have been. I think they forced us in the opening 10-15 minutes. I don't think the Black Stars were able to breathe and even settle into what they wanted to do, because Wales were really good at what they were doing. There was incessant pressure, as he mentioned, Dan James from the right-hand side. They could clearly see they are trying to encourage as many 1v1 opportunities between Dan James and Gideon. And the pace is just a bit too much for Gideon to handle. And that was becoming an issue. I think slowly as the first half wore on, we settled a bit, not settled as in we are playing our football, but settled as in stopped them from penetrating as much as they were doing in the opening 15 minutes. And we also got one or two openings, not the best that you want to see. You want to see your team attack a bit more and create a bit more opportunities. But the clearest chance we had in that first half was the Jordan opportunity, which was from a poor touch from the goalkeeper. So it's not like we played our way into that situation. It was Jordan being alert and quickly pouncing on a loose ball. But the thing is, I think the spaces are there. We are finding the right scenarios, but the decision making is not quite up to standard. I think Fatah has had a good opportunity, or a couple of opportunities on the right-hand side where I thought he could have played in Senaya or played in a quicker cross into the box. Prince Edu Kwabena hasn't quite warmed himself into the game, and you can see that the attack that synergy is not there yet. But I prefer the way they ended that first half. They seemed a bit more settled, and if we can go into the second half with that, then we can probably build on something. But I'm sure we'll talk about individual performances as we go.
Yeah, and that's what I'm coming to, David. Any standout players from that first half for you?
I think I'll go for Atizigi and the right back. Senaya. They've been solid. The right back, especially, he was good, like defending 1v1, and also he tried to attack, and he had like 2 shots.
Yeah.
And he had 1 shot on target also. So, and Atizigi has been the best player so far. Because without him, we will be conceding like 2 or 3 goals already. He's been the best player so far.
Yeah, I agree. World-class save, especially on that Dan James header. It's a super save because he didn't have enough time to react. So the reflexes were on point. Quickly got a strong arm to parry the ball away. That fingertip save also that he parried onto the crossbar. And that could be the difference between it hitting the back of the net and hitting the crossbar. So it was a very timely intervention. And then Senaya, for me, I would think that Senaya is my man of the first half. The winger he's coming up against is also really good at 1v1. But the difference between what Senaya is doing and what Gideon is, Senaya is remaining very tight on his man, not even allowing him to have the opportunity to turn. You can see Gideon knows the strength of Dan James, so he's given him quite some space just to cater for the pace, and I think that is playing against him. But Senaya is really tight. Defensively, he's solid. And when he's going forward too, it's not just the fact that he's going for the timing of his runs. He knows when to go and support and when to retreat. And I think his decision-making on the ball has also been really good. So for me, he's been, along with that.
I mean, what about our midfield, though? Has it clicked as much as we are hoping? Because in there, Thomas Partey is in there, Elisha Uzu is in there, and I'm not sure we've seen much from our midfield.
No, I don't think it's working so far because we haven't had the ball yet because of them. Because there should be like a triangle in the middle so they can pass to each other. Because sometimes you can see Partey with the ball and he doesn't get options to pass, and the defenders are bypassing the midfield because there's not enough movement. They are being held tight, so you don't want to risk it, pass the ball to them and lose it. But also, you want your midfielders to be confident, receive the ball under pressure, try to find your man or take players on. That's what good midfielders do. Try to receive under pressure, and it's not working so far. And it makes it difficult for the attackers to get the ball because we have good wingers, so we need to isolate them and give them a chance to go 1v1, and we are not doing that.
I mean, another area of concern is our defenders and the options we have. We've seen Jonas Ajete is in there. Jerome Opoku is in there. And which other players on this side?
Then Gideon and
Senaya. I mean, just the centre-back pairings of Opoku and
I think, look, I thought they would struggle, but I think they've held their own in that first half. At least as a unit, they've been good. I think they've been exposed because of the failures of the midfield. Some of the passes that had come or penetrated the lines, you would have expected Partey and Elisha to be able to deal with them, especially Partey. I think he's a bit slow to close down spaces, and which is leaving some openings. But when they have been exposed to that danger, I think they've done a good job in quickly closing down and getting blocks in there. We saw, I think it was Ajete who blocked the initial shot from Dan James, and then Jerome quickly closed him down and forced him to take a quick shot. But aside that, I think they've followed, and the fact that they've neutralized Kiefer Moore, he's big, he's strong, but they've been able to take care of it. So when the long balls are coming into Kiefer, he's not able to control and turn and pick out a runner. And I think the two centre-backs have done well. If the midfield can sort itself out, I think that central area defensively will be a much better. But with the yellow card Partey is on, and David was saying it off air, if this was a World Cup, he would have been sent off. That second foul he did on the edge of the box is a clear yellow card offence. That's a red card. He's struggling. Look, we saw this thing against Germany, we saw it against Austria, and it's just a consequence of the little game time he's had this season. So we can see he's struggling. I think he should be taken off as quickly as possible, because in as much as, yes, you want him to get game time, the result is also important in this game for belief, as we spoke about before the game. So I would quickly switch him and bring in Irenchi, who is a bit fitter, can close down spaces, can also pick out a pass. I think he's much more at the rhythm that the game is being played at than Partey is.
I mean, of course, your area of specialty is the attack in there. And we're talking about Kamali, we're talking about Fatai Isaac, we're also talking about Jordan Ayew in there. Even Prince Edu is also in there, all of them trying to help with the attack. I mean, going to the second half, how best can they, collaborate a bit more? Because there were instances where you could tell maybe one pass could have probably given Ghana a chance. The case of Fatai Isaac, even Prince Edu, for instance, as we mentioned, he hasn't. I'm not sure if the passes that are not finding him, if it's the synergy, like Daniel mentioned, that it's not working. Even for Kamaldeen, of course, we haven't seen much from him. What do you think needs to improve from them going into the second half?
I think also it all depends on the team, because the attackers
get an uplift of his team
from the midfielders, and you want the midfielders to be
got full confirmation of the substitutions so far.
To create space for the attackers to go 1v1. But every time they get the ball, it's either 1 versus 2.
And it's Nyama.
Then it means we're not switching the ball early.
And interestingly, we are seeing some substitutions now. Enes Nyama is coming in. Brandon Thomas Asante is also coming in. And there is also a change in the goalkeeping. Benjamin Asari is coming in for Atizigi. I think clearly Carlos is trying to test his players.
Yeah, because he still doesn't know what he wants to do 100%. So he needs to try other players. Because if he's sure of those players, then maybe some will not even play, or they will play 90 minutes. So he wants to see what works best for the team. And I'm not surprised he's made a stop already.
Well, interesting. Second half is upon us now, and we're going to get back to the stadium
in the side
for that second half, and we're back after.
Who's up?
So Ghana has made 4 changes to the team. Ghana will kick us underway. It looks like a 4-4-2 now. So Prince Edu is the one who came off for Thomas Brandon Asante. Partey off for Kwesi Sibo. And on the far side, it's Nyama on for Fatai Sahaku. There's also Atizigi, who's made way for Benjamin Asare. Now and then. What would those changes mean to the Black Stars, Kwame?
Well, maybe a lot more relaxed and a lot more comfortable. But we know what Brandon Asante brings to this game. We know what Kwesi Sibo brings to this game. And hopefully we're going to be taking the game to the Welsh in the second half.
Benjamin So his first involvement of the game is to clear long to find Thomas Brandon Asante, who pushes the ball for Nyama. But runs to the Ethan Ampedu, wins it. Thomas gets past Sibo, looking for the run of Kiefer Moore, but the ball will break kindly now for Ethan Ampedu. David Brooks. Ball well won by Elisha, but applied too much of himself on Nico Williams.
Too physical. And I can understand why Ethan Ampedu is upset there. But there's a man's game, let's get on with it. There's a man's game, let's get on with it.
The foul from Elijah Owusu. So had a very quiet first half, moving to lift his game in the second. Thomas looking to cross there, but well blocked by Marvin Senai, who had a really strong defensive performance in that first 45 minutes. It's his full debut here for the Black Stars, and he's made a very good impression of himself. Other times we've seen him in the team in some cameos, but here he is starting and delivering. There he is again against Thomas, but Kiefer Moore and Thomas will combine well. Nico Williams, Da Silva, I must say. Rondo. Lolo. Again, Ghana sitting in the mid block, waiting for Wills to step up. Nico Williams, Ethan Ampedu, back to his centre back. The Cardiff City man. That was a brilliant ball to find David Brooks down the line. Brooks making his way, but a wonderful tackle by Kwesi Sibo. Referee says play on, and right away Ghana trying to stretch the play on the attack with Jordan Ayew. Confronted by Rodon, it's forced all the way back to Gideon Mensah. Gideon Mensah forced all the way back to his centre backs, and that was one of the problems in that first half. Anytime Ghana were on the attack, they almost always never really were able to skip past that early pressure from Wales, and they were always forced back to start the attack again.
I don't know whether it was a case of we not having enough numbers and enough options going forward, because it looks like a greater number of our players have been pretty much in our own half all through this game.
Cordale again with a loose pass this time. Da Silva is on hand to recovery. And it's Niama pressing Da Silva near into that corner. Senaya with a big header. Chia. Silva, great interception by Sibo. So a decent start to the second half. It's a strong challenge by Soba Thomas, protesting that he got all of the ball. Marvin Senna is down in pain. See it a lot better here. Yeah, maybe he got the ball, yes, but the follow through maybe might have got Senna. Yeah.
That's why you see those protestations there. Looking for the run of the captain, Jordan Ayew. Tries to bring the ball down, but can't bring the ball under his spell. Yeah, it was a really good ball from Jerome Opoku. Only if Jordan could have controlled the ball a lot better. Ethan Ampedu. David Brooks, back to Ampedu. Looking for Kiefer Moore, but Ajete there as well to intercept. Owusu. Kamaldeen Sulemana. And James that time was on hand to stop Kamaldeen Sulemana from getting on his bike. And when he has that grass ahead of him, he can be very, very difficult to track down. The only problem that he has in his game is his end product and his ability to pick the right moments to pass or to shoot.
Sibo. Opoku. Now Mensah. Going long and looking for Jordan Ayew, but couldn't get a Sibo. That was a risky ball to Ampedu by Elisha. Also, that's what to mop it up. Ajete. It was a loose pass again from the centre back. Now Thomas. Skip past Ajete, but Senaya really read the situation well to fill in that slot and block the path of Thomas. Now Mensah. Thomas Asante. Back to Opoku. Asari. Trying to go long, but this ball has been intercepted now. Keith Moore. It was Benjamin Asari's mistake that helped open the scoring for Mexico, where he was trying to be cute and find Opon. The ball was won by Mexico and quickly punished Ghana for that mistake, but that's Sheehan now breaking into the box. Jordan Ayew had to track all the way back to help in defending now. Elisha Owusu looking for Thomas Brandon Asante. Kaudalo off his line to clear his lines.
Good to see that approach is fairly defending the second half. Now we see quite a number of half and washed when they are possession of the ball. I wasn't seeing them
Kaudalo, whose mistake nearly gave away a goal to Ghana, need his concentration to be on and sharp. To see a lot more of the ball than they did in that first half. The only problem is if they are getting the ball in the right areas where they can hurt walls. Senaya. Elijah Owusu. Jordan Ayew. Elijah Owusu. For the run of Kamaldeen Suleiman Abakaudalo, well watched, really, really good goalkeeping from him. Had to keep an eye on that, had to anticipate and had to get there early ahead of Kamaldeen Suleiman.
And had to get that right.
Jordan Ayew turns this man, gets into the box, faces one across the face of goal, but there was no run there to apply the finishing touch. And the ball go all the way to that side. Gets into the box. He's looking for a foul, but the referee says play on. And now a foul for Wolves. That was a really strong play by Marvin Senaya. But because he's high up the pitch now, Thomas has got space. Finds David Brook looking for Keith Moore. The ball is in behind him a little bit. Deflects and wide.
Almost turning out to be an own goal. That would have been very, very.
A lovely run there by David Brooks, looking for Keith Moore, who was outside there. Ball was in behind him, and Gideon Mensah just couldn't sort his feet out in time. And almost diverting that into the. I think the goalkeeper had it covered, Benjamin Asare. But such is the danger. When Ghana attacks, they can be light at the back. Now corner for Wolves. He takes his shot now onto the edge of the ball. Sheehan looking for Nico Williams. Thomas clips it into the box again. Couldn't find his man. Ball cleared back to Sheehan. Looking for his man in the box. That's Thomas. It's Thomas who strikes the ball. Ajete blocks well, and it's another corner for Wolves. Ajete is really a decent game in this one. Keeping his hand away from trouble, blocking with the legs. He's been there before.
And we know why.
He's been there before, Ajete. Another corner for Ghana to defend. Another corner for Wales to attack. Thomas this time to take. Thomas takes into the near side. Ajete again with a very good defensive header. Throw in for Wales. Nico Williams trying to get the better of Gideon Mensah, but there was no space for him to go. Now Cardalo. Rodon. And I've got a very, very important World Cup coming up. The last time Ghana were at the World Cup, they exited at the group stages, having lost to Portugal by 3 goals to 2, I should say. Cristiano Ronaldo opened the scoring from the spots. Sorry, going long there. Another corner kick for Wales. Racking up the corner numbers there. And for Craig Bellamy, who'll be disappointed that they've not really tested Ghana with those set pieces, apart from the one moment where they really worked the shot and Dan James got his head on the ball. Ghana has been very comfortable in defending some of those corners. Brooks to take this time. Brooks takes into the near side. Well watched, well blocked, and defended by Gideon Mensah. It's a poor corner kick from David Brooks. Now Brooks again. Good, strong defending by Gideon Mensah. Daswell to steal the ball from the Wales side, but strong tackle coming in from Nico Williams. Myanmar now got a beating of his man, finds Senaya, who had just strayed offside, couldn't time his run well. The referee, and Senaya, I quite clearly see what he's trying to communicate to Myanmar. Faster, clear the ball in faster and quicker. Substitution now for Wales. Kiefer Moore will make way now. Dan James as well will make way. And Ghana will also freshen up their side. Remember, it's a friendly game ahead of the World Cup, and it gives opportunity for coaches to really test all of their players. Tries different systems. So Kumas will come on for Kiefer Moore. That would very much mean that maybe Wales now will change their approach with Kiefer Moore. They're always trying to cross the ball into him because of his big frame. An opportunity for Caleb Irenchi to also step into the fray. So not only come into the game, but he's come with instructions from the dugout. Confirmation of those substitutions there for you. Caleb Irenchi came in for Elijah Owusu. And James made way for Congreve. Jordan, you wanted to have a word or two with the official there, Ajete. There was also another substitution for the Ghanaian side. Bonsuba came on for Kamaldeen Sulemana. Probably a like-for-like change in terms of the fact that they all can straight the wing. I bear in mind he's a left-footed player, so might be tempted to swing in the ball quicker. Nyama looking for Jordan Ayew, but Rodon defense well. The ball won't fall kindly for it. Man, Sibo, heavy touch from Kwesi Sibo. Still Nyama on the ball. Senaya there. Nyama to Senaya. Nyama instead with the ball finds Senaya this time. Senaya gets the cross in but deflects for a corner kick for the Black Stars of Ghana. Ghana looking a lot better than we saw in the first 45 minutes. Those 50 minutes in the changing room did get the manager talking to them. And now Ghana can attack this corner with a very good ball into the box. Ajete with the header. Just couldn't keep his header down. That was a really lovely ball by the skipper. Jordan, goalkeeper couldn't come out and claim it. Was begging to be struck on target. Ajete climbed high but couldn't keep his header down. Ethan Ampedu. Ampedu again finds Thomas. Congreve making a darting round, run past him. Comes infield instead. Lolo, Ampedu. Congreve. Thomas. Ball comes into the box. But Nico Williams. Nico Williams darting through. Massive protest by the Royals fans for a penalty. Referee waves play on. In fact, Nico Williams wasn't really asking for it. That was almost like a scary moment there for me.
Pretty much a scary moment. Then I would love to see this again. If
Kwesi Sibo just cut across it, but it's enough for a penalty. I don't really think so. But another referee could really give that, to be honest.
That looked like a pen to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
That looked like a pen. And if there was VAR, I'm sure the referee would have been called to it. And then I'm sure he would have taken a decision against Ghana. Very lucky to get away with this one.
That was really clumsy from Kwesi Sibo in the box. Broadhead. Da Silva to Thomas. Thomas having a very difficult night against Senaya. Senaya blocks this cross. Senaya, Gideon Mensah, and Elijah Woods, the three of them play for Auxerre in the French League. Had a very difficult season. Survived the relegation with 2 minutes, two games. They were strong in winning those games. But now Ghana can push forward. Nyama can check onto his left. It's Nyama! Boy saved by Dallin, and finally now Ghana breaks the deadlock through the substitute Calibri Urenchi. And Nyama was breaking through. He was denied. Urenchi denied the first time of the woodwork, but not for the second time. And finally the deadlock is broken in Wales, but not for the Welsh. It's the Ghanaians who have broken the deadlock. And it's Caleb Urenchi.
this pretty much came out of nothing. You have to say. I mean, what a pass this. What a first touch from Myanmar. And I thought at this point he was going to cut it and score. He did that brilliantly. I thought he was going to find either side of the net. But well done. Because at some point I thought the chance was lost.
Yeah. So it's Ernest Myanmar whose pace and his ability to carry the ball came to full force there. Couldn't find the curl into the far post. Carl Dallo managing to squeeze it and actually deflected off one of his players onto the woodwork. But you need to be there. You need to be at the right place at the right time to apply the finishing touch. And to the delight of Kalesh Kyrgios, it was the man in the yellow shirt, Caleb Urenchi, who was on hand to apply the finishing touch. Ghana a goal to be good. And for all the effort of Wolves, it's out of nothing that Ghana breaks through to break the deadlock.
Now I wonder what the game plan is going to be for the remaining 22 minutes and time added on. Are we going to sit back, shut up shop and look to take the Welsh on the counter? Or we might, be confident enough to go for a second?
And it's Caleb Urenchi's first ever goal for the Black Stars of Ghana. Bonsuba has the goal now brought some confidence into the Stars side. And you can hear the Ghanaian fans chanting, "Ole, ole, ole." Lolo is being substituted for Mitham. Ghana attacking now with Bonsuba. Gideon Mensah swings an early cross in, trying to find his man. It was Jerome Opoku, was a free header, but couldn't generate enough power on the header. But that was a lovely shape on the ball from Gideon Mensah. We'd have thought Jerome Opoku would do a lot better with that. Ghana beginning to grow in real confidence here.
And that was a chance. That was a very, very good chance to have scored a second goal. And who knows what that would have done to the confidence of this team.
And that goal, even though it wasn't scored by Myanmar, would do him a lot of good because he's really struggled this season with that ACL injury. He returned and played only 33 minutes for his side, Lyon. But that spring in his step, that pace that he showed, that agility about him to that to the left and that to the right will still give him the confidence that he still got it.
Great to see him getting some minutes. And if hopefully we're able to sort out that one against Jamaica, if he gets some minutes as well, then he goes into the World Cup with some minutes under his belt.
Foul on Sheehan by Kwesi Sibo. Lovely feats by Congreve, Nico Williams. Rodon, Metham. Da Silva, Ethan Ampadu, Nico Williams. Looking for a strike, man. That was almost a free header, but Kumas really was a free header, but couldn't get the ball on target. Nobody was picking him on the fast stick. It was a disappointing header coming in from the striker. Warning signs for the back line of the Ghanaian side.
A very experienced striker would have headed that ball across, and that would have given goalkeeper Asari a lot to think about.
JT. Anyway, we do from there kind of pressure. Now there they go again with Ethan Ampadu. Congreve. Bonsuba. Goes infield. Find Thomas Brennan Asante. Gotta look a lot better, way better than we saw in the first half, Kwame.
Way better, way better. With that 15 minutes at the half-time, I'm sure the managers would have spotted a thing or two.
Now there they go again. And it's Nyama looking for the run of Jordan. Brendan Asante! Oh, he was almost slipping through the shot and he couldn't get a shot on target. But Nyama's pace is causing chaos for that world side. Anytime he's on the ball, he's electrifying. Lovely combination there. Almost trying to pick out his captain. That would have been a wonderful pass, cut out to Brendan Asante, but just couldn't keep his feet as he struck the ball. Ghana's attack beginning to look electrifying.
All of a sudden, we look good going forward. We didn't see much of this in the first 45.
71 minutes on the clock, and Carlos Queiroz' side leads in this game. Couple more substitutions for him, you would imagine. Inaki Williams has stripped and is ready to take the pitch. Can imagine it would be for maybe the captain Jordan Ayew, who really I thought has led the lines well, but Jerome Opoku is struggling with something. As far as injuries are concerned, it's one of the positions where the manager will be desperate to not have any injury whatsoever, considering the heavy blow he's received in that position. So Inaki Williams is ready to take his place in the game, but maybe in the next break. Alidu Seidu as well is ready himself to, you would imagine, in the place of Marvin Senaya, who's had a brilliant game in this outing. Congreve. Looking for a cross into the box. Wonderful claim there by Benjamin Asare, calm and cool and collected. It's good for the competition in the team, isn't it, Kwame?
Sure. Because at this point, I'm sure it's already playing out in the heads of these two guys. Would I be number one, or would I start from the bench?
I listened to Benjamin Asare's interview with the Football Association, where he said that he would support any goalkeeper who would be imposed. For him, the team first. And it would be a manager's dream to have players who are sometimes selfless. Broadhead. Nico Williams. BFM there looking for Da Silva. Congreve. Nico Williams. He's been busy tonight. Seen a lot of the ball. Ethan Ampedu. Ball comes into the box and Kumas again doesn't really have the physical presence of Keith Lemore. Just couldn't reach the ball. Had a delightful shape on it. Captain Jordan Ayew is making way for one of the substitutes. You would imagine it would be for Inaki Williams as he passes on the armband to Gideon Mensah.
And Senaya makes way as well.
Falidi Seidu. What a game he's had.
Yeah, like for like. And on this evidence, if Alidu is thinking he's going to be slotting in at that right back position, just like he had his opportunities in the last few years, he's probably thinking again. I'm not too sure what's going wrong there.
Yeah, probably miscommunication there. Marvin Senaya is off the pitch. Probably a miscommunication. Probably is Jordan Ayew still on the pitch? Jordan Ayew is off the pitch for Inaki Williams, and now Ghana is playing 10v11 because Marvin Senaya came off the pitch, and Alidu said he wasn't allowed to take his place. I was wondering if Ghana would have kicked the ball to a throw-in quickly just to get the mess sorted out. Instead, we were trying to find Inaki Williams. Da Silva. Kumas. And Peru to Da Silva again. Congreve. Back to Da Silva. Kumas. Looking to spin one across his man. Miahu voluntarily stepped out to play on the left back side, doing a job for the Black Stars. Again, maybe that's should have kicked that ball away for a throw-in. Oh, ball clipped over the top, looking for Isaac Davis. Can't reach it. Maybe an opportunity now for Ghana to sort out that. Alidu Seidu takes a stand now. The restaurant referee has got, the fourth official has got some explanation to do to Carlos Queiroz.
Because I struggle to, appreciate that. The player was already out.
I wonder if the new rule that has been introduced to get players off the pitch within 10 seconds of the ball going up came to full.
During the course of the World Cup.
Yeah. Supposed to be official during the course of the World Cup. Otherwise, if Alidu Seidu is not coming on, then Sane has to get back onto the pitch. But he was taking off and Alidu didn't come on. You can imagine if that ball over the top for Davis caused any problems there. But now there are problems for Wales to deal with, and Carl Dallo deals with it.
This has really been an improved second 45 minutes for the Black Stars. I'm sure the manager would be very happy about what he's seen in the 32, 33 minutes of the second 45 minutes.
And Espiyama. It's looked really lively since coming on. Anytime he's on the ball, it's almost as if something is going to happen for the Black Stars. Kwesi Sibu. Bosuba. Urenchi. Whose goal separates these two sides? And while I said Abdul Mumin also came on for Jerome Opoku, just in case you missed that. Abdul Mumin spotted in that number 6 shirt. He's also one of the players who was out for a very long time with the ACL, his back and his feet. An opportunity for him to stretch out his legs. His side, Rayo Vallecano, went all the way to the Conference League final. He, because of the injury, wasn't registered for the competition in Europe. But they fell short against Crystal Palace in that final. Caudalo stepping off the pitch to mop it up again for his Royal side. He's got a little smile on his face. I thought you enjoyed that. Yeah. Kalibirinchi. To Ghana's now captain Gideon Mensah finds Bonsuba. Bonsuba really had a very, very impressive season in the Saudi Pro League for Akasia. Flag is up against Inaki Williams. We've got 10 minutes more to play in this game with added time. 80 minutes on the clock. Against Wales. Kalibirinchi, the substitute with a goal. Rodon. One of the Wales players who started this game, still going strong. Congreve looking for Davis on the far side, finds him. Davis. Da Silva. Mpedu. Close. By Ghana. It's a striker ball block. Mepe will come with The ball to Da Silva, to Ampedu, down the channel for Sheehan. That's well. Squeezes the ball to his man, back to Ampedu. Williams. Broadhead. Ampedu, who's got space. Broadhead checks onto his left, checks onto his right, clips one into the box. Well watched again and defended properly by Ajete, but will still have the ball. Well looked after by Nico Williams. Ampedu. Da Silva. Ampedu. Davis. That's a poor ball. He's trying to look for Congreve there, but again, the ball will be cleared by Gideon Mensah. Will spinning Ghana into their own half with 8 more minutes on the clock. Rodon. Great show of strength there by Broadhead. Rodon. Then Ampedu, to his frustration, brings down Brendan Asante. Rodon, who seemed to have been struggling in something a little bit now, is being substituted. Da Silva also takes his bow. Norrington Davis in his place. Andrews as well will add a bit more of attacking oomph to this Wales side in the final minutes to go. Yama trying to get there first ahead of his man, but Davis across quickly to get a block in. Wolves are winless in their last 2 games. Drew against Bosnia-Herzegovina and actually on penalties. Then also drew 1-1 against Northern Ireland. Here they are with 7 minutes to go, losing to the Black Stars of Ghana. And Ghana also are for that. Gideon Mensah makes way for Baba Rahman, and Baba Rahman comes into the game straight as the captain. Yeah, he's the most experienced Black Star player on the pitch as it stands. Well, I was talking about the wins for the winless streak, which was 2 for Wales. Ghana are winless in their last 5 games. The last time Ghana won a game was in December 2025. Beat Comoros by goal to 0 in Accra. Since then, they've lost 2-0. They lost goal to 0 to South Korea, beaten by Austria by 5 goals to 1, losing 2-1 to Germany, and more recently 2-0 to Mexico. So Carlos Queiroz' first game could be to break that streak of defeats, unless something happens for Wales in the last couple of minutes, and that is a chance trying to carve through. But again, well watched by Benjamin Asari. Kumas on that time dropping deep to try and squeeze one through for Broadhead, but sorry, it was red alert. Ampedu, who's dropped into centre back position now, clipping one forward. Ajete, who's had an impressive game today, Kwame.
Every player I've seen in this game who has been around the last couple of weeks, months, and years appears to have improved a bit. And that's to see with a manager who's only been around for a few weeks and playing in his very first official game. It's great to see that the lads have improved just a little bit before the start of the World Cup. We will have a bit more time with the team before we do play a game against Panama. And again, if we get a second friendly against Jamaica, who knows whatever the outcome is, what that's going to be doing for the players going forward. And hopefully by the time we play against Panama, we'll have a manager who would have literally been able to communicate his ideas to the lads, and then we'll see that translate into performance on the pitch.
Yeah, one thing is clear, Carlos Queiroz is not afraid to make the changes. Other times, another manager would keep Thomas Partey on regardless. But he knew he was struggling. He saw him in the yellow card and thought he could trust some. A couple of other changes that he's made the team a lot better. But now they still have to keep their focus. Congreve, lovely feet. Asante on the edge of his box, trying to take on his man. Nico Williams. It's Congreve again. This time crosses with his left boot. The ball is bouncing in the box. Yeah, the ball ricocheted off his own. But on his weaker side, Davies couldn't keep his effort down. Nico Williams. That was a dangerous ball, almost won by Asante. Oh, well played there. Really well played to evade the pressure, but gives the ball away to Nyama. Now it's Nyama, who's been troublesome all evening with the ball again. Does really well to keep possession. Abdul Mumin, Babaraman. Babaraman's recall to the team has really divided opinion across the country. But yeah, he's back again in the Black Star shirt, ready to represent the country at the World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Mumin. That's a poor ball from Mumin. Brownman steps in now to intercept it. Nico Williams. Nico Williams, lovely switch to the far side, but Alidu Seidu managed to win it, but they'll come again, Wales. Davis looking for his man. The ball on the near post was just flinged into the far side, but nobody was arriving to connect it. That was Broadhead on the near post. In the end, it's Babaraman who deflects it out for a corner kick for Wales. That could have gone anywhere, Kwame.
That could have gone anywhere. That could have gone anywhere.
Congreve takes the corner. Wales from Ethan Ampadu can get the ball on target. We wonder if it's the final moment for them as we approach the 90-minute mark. Cheers couldn't get his body posture in the right frame to. We'll do 5 minutes minimum for stoppage time. Carlos Queiroz will be desperate for his team to see out this victory, to give the team the needed confidence going into the competition. Across to win it. The ball and clear his lines, but throw in for Wales deep into the half of the Black Stars. Williams. Ampadu. Isaac Davis. Lovely ball looking for Kumas, but the ball won't drop for any Wales shot. Kind of defended resolutely in this stoppage time. Sheehan opens that for Davis. I'm not sure why he's not trying to shoot there, trying to fight Sheehan, but pass has been broken. But they recycle the ball and come again, Wales. Wales camping Ghana in Ghana's own half. Opportunity for Sheehan to take a strike. But it goes way up and over the bar. No troubles for Ghana's Benjamin Asare. Nobody really was closing in on him, so he was inviting him to shoot Sheehan. Got his effort away, but it wasn't dipping in time under the bar. He knew how to let the ball fly, Craig Bellamy. He had a really, really good range in him. Bonsuba trying to squeeze one into the box. And nobody in the same wavelength with him. Now can Wales fashion one more attack in stoppage time? Congreve. Nico Williams. Broadhead. Back to Williams. Oh, gets round Barbara Man so easily. Ball comes into the box. The header is good. And it's an equalizer they've been looking for. Wales pulling back from Kumas. The second half substitute who took the place of Kiefer Moore. And Ghana has been breached right at the death. Wales won. Ghana won. Kwame.
We've got to ask a lot of questions about, here at this point. Poor defending, if you ask me. The game was over.
Yeah. Gonna run Barbaraman so easily and whip the ball in with great pace, but it's the movement across Ajete from Kumas that was delightful. And once he got across his man, it was all about could he get enough contact to direct the ball to the far stick? And the answer was yes. That's breaking for Carlos Queiroz' side, but Ghana might just maybe find one more chance here. Inaki Williams looking for somebody in the box, but the pass was short. Mumin. Barbaraman. Ghana now trying to go and look for the winner. Ajete. Already said looking for Inaki Williams. With few seconds on the clock, can Wales find one more chance and chase the winner? Sheehan uses his body really well, and there they go again. It's Andrews. Davis. Wales finishing strongly here. Andrews again. Davis crosses the ball, finds his man. The effort comes in, but that wasn't a clean contact with the ball from Davis. And the final whistle goes on the 150th anniversary of their FA. Wales celebrated it with this game against the Black Stars of Ghana. For Ghana, the agenda was simple. It was to get a game to prepare for the World Cup. This man right here, Calibri Enchi, off the bench, opened the scoring in this fixture to push Ghana in the lead. But Kumas, who was also off the bench in the second half, very, very late in the game, leveled it for the World side. It is Ghana's preparation for the World Cup that continues from here on in. Who knows where beyond the group stage they can go. But it is finished here in Wales. Wales won. Ghana 1.
And that's how the game ended. Ghana drawing with Wales, and all goals coming in the second half. It's Black Stars who are still looking for the first win in 5 games, waiting to see if it's going to happen in the first game against Panama. And this might just be the final game before the World Cup. And Jordan Ayew in the center there, trying to encourage the players. And you know, interesting game overall. David Akam still in studio. David, I mean, we've got the visuals rolling our screen. You can see the players. Were you impressed with the performance overall? 90 minutes, 1-1 at the end of the day.
I think the second half was much better performance compared to the first half. And most of the boys came to the game and they brought their A game. And it gives the coach headache because we saw what he was trying to do. He was trying to try other players to see what they can offer to the team. So it looks like some of the French players show that they are ready to start. So it's
you think the changes made the desired impact?
Yeah, it had positive effects on the team, and it's a good headache for a coach to have. So I think at the moment he have a fair idea what he have in the camp. So we'll see where we go from here.
I mean, Daniel, the biggest question on the minds of many people is what Coach Carlos Queiroz has made of this performance. It's his first game. What lessons has he learnt of this team?
Obviously, individual players, lessons on individual players. I think Senaya has guaranteed a spot at right back at the World Cup. The centre-back pairing for me, if I ask the game went on, it's almost difficult coming into the team like this and then playing with somebody you've not played before in a back four. That's Jerome and Ajeti. But I think they did a superb job in holding the fort. I also like the job that Sibo did when he came on. It's not easy to replace Partey in any midfield. And I think the time that Elisha and Sibo were on the pitch, I think they held their own. In fact, the second half, I think the Black Stars were a bit more balanced. They prevented Wales from creating the openings we were seeing in the first half. And going forward, it looked like there was a bit more spark to the attack. So all in all, I think it's a positive performance. That's why I really wish that we had another friendly right before the World Cup. I think it would have been good enough for us to build on this performance and these results, probably get that win and then head into the Panama game. But all in all, look, I think it's a good performance. The likes of Nyama. You see, sometimes when they name the squad and we talk all the talk, the coaches are the ones who are close to the players. We're talking about ACL. If you watch Nyama today, you had no indication that this guy just came back from an ACL. He was fluid, he was sharp, he was taking on defenders. And you could even tell anytime he picked up the ball, the people in the stadium were excited. He brings that spark, he has that X factor. And that goal was all Nyama. The 1-2 with Senaya driving at the opposition, dribbling 1-2, taking the shot. Eventually, Irenchi puts it back on the net. So I think there are some key positive performances. I think Mumin also looked kind of sharp when he came on. He looked smooth, and these are signs that you want to see going into a major tournament. You want to be able to count on any player that may be called off the bench. So I'm happy. Obviously, the conceding at the end was quite disappointing, but the overall performance gives me a bit more confidence going into the tournament.
I mean, and David, we saw the team play under Otto Addo. We saw in the game against Germany, the game against Austria. If you're to decipher the difference between what we saw today compared to what we saw under Otto Addo, just even based on his last game, what would be the difference?
I think with the difference today is they had like a clear plan. Sometimes they are low block compact, and sometimes they choose movement to press. And even though there was like a little bit disjointed press, but it looks like something they've been working in training. Because it's difficult to find that moment to press. That's why you need players to, when there's a movement, say, hey, this is the moment, let's go, they press. And before this game, it was difficult. It looks like they are always want to be compact and run and get some chance. But today, they also had like control of the ball. They try to create chances, not like lucky or mistakes from opponents. They try to create something. They have players that dribble into the box, and especially in the second half, they had a lot of touches in the box. So it shows that they had control of the ball in attacking phase, and also with the defensive phase, they were compact and chose the moment to press.
Daniel, I mean, what did you observe?
I think I side with David. There was a bit more structure to our play. It looked a bit more settled. Players didn't look confused. It was clear what the players were supposed to do, even in attack. Even despite the many substitutions, we still saw a very similar plan. So if you notice in the second half when it started, Gideon and Senaya, Jerome were going long, trying to catch the Welsh defense, the high line. Jordan was trying to make those runs. Although the touches didn't work all the time, we saw when Iñaki came on, the same instruction. Different players had come on. This time it was Mumin and Ko who were trying to go long, Alidu who were trying to go long. So that's the clarity of instructions I spoke about at the start of the game.
The goal, because yet again we've conceded.
Yeah, look, it's disappointing. Obviously, I think. And when you look at the substitutions, so Baba had just come on, Mumin had just come on, Nico Williams, we all know in the first half was a constant threat to Gideon. So those players are a bit sharper. So when you come on like that, you need to get into the rhythm of the game. In 3 minutes, you come on and then all of a sudden you are being attacked. It can be dangerous. But I understand why the changes were made. It's a friendly game. You need to get players into the rhythm of things. But look, sometimes these things happen. Yes, we should have defended better. I think Baba should have been a bit tighter to prevent the cross. Even after the cross came in, I thought we should have done better in dealing with the near post run. That didn't happen, and it left the goalkeeper exposed. But it happens. I'm not sure. It's not like this is not something they can work on. I think they were much better defensively in the second half than they were in the first half, and I think that also resulted in us not seeing too many saves Asare had to make. Atizigi came in very key for us in that first half. We didn't see that in the second half.
I mean, pretty much that's all we have. But David, just before you go, finally, if you have a message for Ghanaians, because you're a former player and obviously you are sort of an ambassador for the Black Stars to some extent, what will be the takeaway from this game? What should they think of the team going into the World Cup based on this performance? What should they keep at the back of their mind?
I think one thing we forgot to mention was there was the rule, the substitution rule, which happened in the game.
Yeah,
because when you delayed, this will happen.
Out for 1 minute.
We need the technical team to know all this stuff and try to help the players, because sometimes as a player, you don't really think about those outside stuff. So they need, and also with, I think today's performance is encouraging. And it's a good thing for us because we want to be encouraged that when we go to the World Cup, we can win games. And for Ghanaians, no matter what, we will support the players. Also, when things doesn't go well, you know what you get from the fans. So today is impressive, and I know they're going back, they'll work harder. Hopefully there should be like a game, or even if there's no like a friendly game, there should be like indoor games for for the coaches and the players to know what to do. So for us, we are happy there's World Cup, and we always support the team.
Interesting. David, thank you very much for your time tonight. We really appreciate it. You've spent some really long hours with us. And of course, Daniel, thank you. If you don't like the thank you, then I don't know what you want. Anyway, thank you also to you for watching. And we are building up to the World Cup on Friday. We have a special World Cup build-up show happening on Friday, live here on Joy Prime. So make a date. And come next week, Monday, our World Cup Daily Show will start. All right? So stay tuned to Joy Prime for all the details. Everything World Cup, I'm telling you, starting next week. Because next week, Thursday, the World Cup, not starting. We'll share with Joy Prime. Thank you very much for your company today.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
This house was once somebody's dream. A 3-bedroom home filled with family, laughter, kids playing around. But today, it's akin to an eco park. Weeds, plants, snakes. It's all falling apart. Join me on a journey to put this house in good shape. We need to bring this house back to life. Yes, we will. Let's do this.
Tomato mix. Ofa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yan kwan ni dodo a ope.
Tasty Tom dear. It will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix inti. Me handwriting and sada. Senande dene dia saneti. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Tee up someone in red, and it goes to
That's who goal is for. I got 5 champions. You want to know? I be the real goal.